All right, here it is, the final episode of my NFL record predictions, finishing it off with the NFC West. Let's get right into it. Starting off in fourth place, I have the Seahawks finishing with the record of 2-15. Other than DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, this team is basically just trash, and also Blitz boy Jamal Adams if you want to include him too. This team is basically just trash though. And they're going to probably have their next franchise quarterback in next year's draft, but they should have a top 3 pick. And in third place, I have the Cardinals finishing at 10-7. DeAndre Hopkins, of course, suspended for the first 6 games of the season. And in those first 6 games, I will say on a side note that I think that Marquise Brown, who was traded to them this offseason, he will be great. Like, he will be in Pro Bowl type shape. And there's going to be some conversations going on, at least I think, where, top 15, top 10 receiver almost, potentially in that time range. I think he's just going to be amazing as wide receiver number 1 in Arizona. But once D-Hop gets back in week 7 or 8, whatever, I think that things will cool down. But this team is going to be the same as I think that they did last season. They're going to do really nice in the regular season, but when it comes to playoff time, they're just going to face a team that's better than them and just really lose. There's going to be a ton of talks the same offseason. Kyler Murray, is he really the guy? Well, even if he isn't, now he's on a huge contract extension, so they really have no way around that. A lot of money going to Kyler Murray. A lot of money. We'll see if they regret it. We'll see what this season looks like for them. And in second place, I have the 49ers, finishing at 10-7 as well. Just from the divisional records and strength of schedule, I think that they get the second spot in the NFC West. I don't really know how it works, but I think that they'll finish second in this division. Even me being not a huge or big believer in Trey Lance, I think that this team will still finish at 10-7. Losing their offensive coordinator and Mike McDaniel, and now Deebo Samuel with the whole thing this offseason, he really doesn't want to be getting handoffs, so they can't really even use him to his full potential. But when we look at this team's first couple games, I have their schedule right here. Week 1, they play the Bears. That's a winnable game. Week 2 is the Seahawks, another winnable game. Then they play the Broncos and Rams, definitely 2 that they could lose. The Broncos could definitely be a close game, and then they play the Panthers and Falcons. So just hypothetically, if they lose to the Broncos and Rams, 2 teams that they definitely could beat, they could start out 4-2, and I think that they have a really tough schedule after that. But if they can finish 4-2, maybe even 5-1 in those first 6 games, this 49ers team can definitely compete for a playoff spot. But this season, I don't have them getting it. Especially if they do decide to rely heavy on the run. They're in a Kyle Shanahan type of offense, and we know that running in that offense can only lead to good stuff. So I think the 49ers will finish well, but really having Trey Lance's status unknown going into the season, I do not have them going too far this season. And winning this division, once again, I have the Rams finishing with the record of 13-4. We rarely see Super Bowl repeats in the NFL anymore. But if there's any team to do it, the Rams may be most set up to do so. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald all signed extensions this offseason, keeping them in LA for a couple more years, for a while more. This team really does have a good chance to win the NFC once again. They played the Bucs in the NFC Championship last year, and I think that them and the Rams and the Bucs are really the 2 most competitive NFC teams. Would not be surprised if they met in the NFC Championship game once again. The Packers have gone worse, losing Devontae Adams, and I really don't see another big-time threat in the NFC. The Eagles and Cowboys are competing for the NFC East. I think that the Cowboys aren't really going to be at that level. The Eagles are inexperienced, and like I said with the Packers, they got worse, and the Vikings I don't think are at that level either. So I think it'll be the Bucs or the Rams coming out of the NFC once again. But I'm going to talk about my playoff stuff in the awards video, which is going to be coming out soon. But finishing the NFC here, I have the Rams with the 1 seed, the Packers at the 2 seed, Bucs with the 3 seed, Eagles 4 seed, Cowboys, Vikings, and Saints finishing with the wild card spots. A lot of stuff going to be going on this season, but that will wrap up my record predictions. Maybe reacting to some of these videos come after the season or after the regular season. Football starts, man. It's really soon. I'm recording this at 11:03 on Sunday. A week from today, we're going to be talking about the recap somewhat of the Big Time Sunday of week 1. I don't know what I'm really going to be doing, but that'll wrap up. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.